Good afternoon and welcome to matchday 13 of the 2025-2026 German Dritte Liga season match. We come to you live from Bavaria in Munich at the old school and always packed to capacity Grünwalder Stadion. Whenever TSV 1860 Munich steps onto this pitch, the raucous supporters in attendance roar for their Lions. And for those of you watching on your screens, you're guaranteed a special atmosphere for 90 minutes, regardless of the result. A major challenge is presenting itself to the Lions today. A daunting task in front of them in the form of Die Roten, the Reds. League leaders Energie Cottbus have forged their path to the top of the table by winning each of their last 5 outings. The starting 11 for new manager Markus Kausinski, well, relatively newly appointed manager Markus Kausinski, a 3-4-3 formation. It's Max Reintaler who comes in for the injured Schäferle. Thomas Dahn is also in goal again. Vogt, Dulich complete the defense. Jakobsen and Denise also back from suspension. Lippmann, Rittmuller on the wings. Kevin Volland, Philipp, and the front lines, along with Sigurd Haugen, their prolific goal scorer, who is on 5 so far this season. 1860 Munich started life well with Markus Kausinski, but then they were defeated last week. Energie Cottbus' starting 11 put by Klaus-Dieter Wollitz. It's Aworti, Grant, and Manu in the back two. Rohrig and Luko Kui on the wings. Mitchell Brink, Dominic Pelivan, and Captain Axel Borgman. And then the front three, all very prolific strikers, and forward so far was Yaris Engelhardt and Tolgai CJC, the unforgettable and remarkable Tolgai CJC, who's been unbelievable this season. Surely with his left foot and his capabilities will be one to look out for over the next 90 minutes. And as the players come out from the tunnel, under the applause of the supporters, it's a special afternoon in 1860 Munich's venue as they host Cottbus, because today is All Saints' Day in Bavaria. It's a quiet holiday across the region, and it's a time when many visit cemeteries or are even in attendance in churches to remember their loved ones. So out of respect for that, 1860 Munich decided to lower the stadium loudspeakers, so the music may not be as blasting as usual. Well, it definitely won't. And the announcements will be much more subdued. Energie Cottbus arriving high on confidence, although they did bow out from the DFB Pokal at the midweek, losing 4-1 to Bundesliga side RB Leipzig. Wasn't exactly a tight competition. We were down 3-0 in the opening half, conceding a third goal, which was a bit silly, lack of concentration. The main referee is Konrad Olhafer, assisted by Stefan Zielsdorf and Asmir Otsmanagic. Konrad Olhafer officiating just his second Dritte Liga match this term, but he has lots of experience in this tier of the competition. This will be his 63rd Dritte Liga match as a main official. So can 1860 Munich take down another league leader? They did so the last time they were at this stadium. It was MSV Duisburg at the time. It was a remarkable performance, capped off by a late goal scored by Thor Jakobsen. Sigurd Haugen picked up a brace. If they could do so again, they would put an end to Energie Cottbus' 5-match win streak, where they've scored 19 of their 30 goals. But Munich are missing some players, especially at the back. It's a bit of a makeshift defense. Max Reintaler, starting in the center back, has only played 7 minutes up to this point of the season, all competitions. And it is a team that do concede quite a bit, coming against one of the most lethal offenses and most informed sides of the Dritte Liga so far. There he is, Tunay Deniz, back from a yellow card suspension. He surely will help with creativity. Wonderful sunny conditions, as you can see here at the Grünwalder Stadion, and we are off. It's the home side wearing their white and blue striped kits. The Lions of Munich attacking from right to left, start off with possession. as they host league leaders Energie Cottbus. 11 points separate these two sides. Cottbus, who marched on to the top of the table thanks to their high-flying offense. Last match day, a tricky encounter against TSV Havelse. Managed to win 4-3, but Klaus-Dieter Wollitz wasn't exactly delighted by the performance. Said that you can't win matches conceding 3 goals every time. Picked up the corner now. It's Yanis Boziaris. He's going to send in the in-swinger. It's driven. Thomas Dahn is struggling. May have collided with his own player. Seems with his glove. It's a punch to Thor Jakobsen, the captain. In absence of Jesper Verlat, who is also out due to injury. Fortunately, seems like it was a bit of an instant shock, but never mind. It was Dana who made contact with the ball, and then in the follow-through, got a little bit of Jakobsen's face. Of course, there is a protocol to evaluate players in case they are concussed. It doesn't seem like Jakobsen is in a position where his performance will be impacted overall, which is fortunate. As you can see on your screens, the traveling supporters of Die Roten coming out in numbers. Max Reinthaler making his 3rd appearance of the season, his first start, as I said earlier in the broadcast. Just 7 minutes played up until this point of the season. See how he fills in against a very tricky offense. Jakobsen recovers well, plays a one-touch pass, and 1860 Munich positioning themselves in a low block, relying on mid-length passes to gain ground. Kevin Volland commits a foul. Well guarded by King Man. Or was it an offside position, was he? Oh, so slightly. I believe it was the right call. Good defensive line set in place by Cottbus there. It's Marius Funk, who clears it to the header of Eric Engelhardt. Thomas Dahn, goalkeeper, clears it. This game will be a bit of a tactical chess match, so to speak, but also there were mind games played between the managers going into the game. Klaus-Dieter Wollitz adding to the orchestra that TSV 1860 Munich were the favorites to be promoted going into the season and our favorites going into this encounter. He tipped the Bavarian players as top level. And then Markus Kauzinski, the manager of 1860 Munich, responded, brushing off that favorite tag. He said, everyone wants to lull us into complacency and make us the favorites, but you only have to look up the table. Here's Henry Rohrig. Good dribbling from Boziaris. Spreads it out wide, and finally, it's well recovered by Marvin Rittmuller, making sure he fulfills his defensive duties. And Dulic, in an attempt to clear his lines, concedes the 2nd corner of the match for Energie Cottbus, and Klaus-Dieter Wollitz, who was on his feet, can go back to his bench, knowing his team pressed high appropriately. The last corner was punched away. Can the 2nd lead to a scoring chance? We'll have the answer to that in just a few seconds. Boziaris, it's played towards the middle, similar area. 1860 Munich make sure danger's extinguished just for now. Tolgay Sijersi. Sijersi again, dancing around the box as he loves to do. 1860 Munich have a chance to clear with pace. Sigurd Haugen got himself in front of the ball. The referee, Konrad Allhafer. Did he blow his whistle? It's a little bit ambiguous. Chaotic scenes here, and he'll distribute the first yellow card of the match to Lukas Michelbrink, Lithuanian under-21 international, guilty of cutting off that play from developing to its full potential. Haugen got in front of it, but it looked like it was a bit of a 50-50 duel. Lukas Michelbrink, in the eyes of the referee Konrad Allhafer, guilty of cutting it. Oh yes, he does make contact with Sigurd Haugen's right foot. Clear as day with the replay. The right decision by the referee. Denise. Simple pass left to Simon Voigt. Long searching ball. It's controlled by Philip. It's a shame. But under the applause from the supporters at the Grunwalder Stadion, nothing to concern goalkeeper Marius Fink, who was signed in the summer as a solution to the injured Elias Bethke. Perhaps on his way to returning, isn't stressing. Dealt with a serious injury. Elias Bethke tearing a tendon in August. He's done well stepping in. Marius Fink. Good job there from Anderson Lukokui. As Axel Borgman brought down by Tunai Denise. Wholehearted challenger in the midfield. Denise. But also one who can find spaces with the ball at his feet for his teammates. Cross from Lukokui. Simply caught and captured by Thomas Dana. He too a new signing. Right from posted kill. And although it hasn't been an exceptional season so far for 1860 Munich, Thomas Dana's performances have been one of the most appreciated by the critics. Oh, what a pass from Denise, a one-time effort, and it's controlled, perhaps not in the stride of David Phillips' pace, but he does well to showcase his speed. It was a short cross and it had to be dealt with by Orit Grant. And a spark created by Tunai Denise. Broke so many lines with that volleyed pass, and here he is again. He is such a complementary player to the offense and the midfield battles for 1860 Munich. Of course, it's Max Christensen who goes on the bench. Denise is back. The cross doesn't meet any Munich players, but Rittmuller can perhaps send it back in. Audacious attempt from Rittmuller, but goes all the way into Rosette. Player who has 85 Zweite Bundesliga appearances. Marvin Rittmuller brings all that experience to 1860 Munich. Even scored in the relegation playoffs for Eintracht Braunschweig in May of this year. Signed the Lions in September. Oh, look at the layoff. It's well done. Denise again involved. Seems like he was caught up on the follow through and maybe received the ball in his face. It's a strong challenge to block the delivery. But Tunai Denise really is giving his all in these opening 10 minutes. Yeah, he received the ball back. It's the rebound from Awerti Grant. And Denise struggling to get back up to his feet. The medical team come check over him. Playing his second season Tunay Deniz, 1860 Munich. They're with both German and Turkish nationalities. 1860 Munich will hope that he's able to carry on, because he is, as he's proven in the first 10 minutes, so capable of, through his movement, through his accuracy and his passing. Corner will be taken without him. Rheinthaler, Philipp, charging in. And this is encouraging from the home side. They're really starting to unsettle Energie Cottbus, who aren't looking as sharp in recovering the ball as they have throughout the last 5 matches. Good pass from Lippmann. Cottbus recover. Can it be spread wide to Henry Rohrig? Henry Rohrig, who's so dangerous in the offensive sequences, already has 4 assists this season. Tolgay Sijersi needs no context for those of you who watch the Dritte Liga. He's already on 9 goals and 5 assists this year, and Rheinthaler does well to cut out the attack and concede the foul in the process in his duel with Erik Engelhardt. That was also a good reaction from De Roten. They were pinned into their own box for a few minutes, broke with pace, and finished a play with a foul, but got so far. Sigurd Haugen, he's got the best of Manu, it almost looked like. He had to be on his best there, Manu, because Sigurd Haugen's movement was so tricky. He wasn't able to really read the trajectory of the ball until he got into the final stages of his box. The Norwegian forward, who proved his mettle last season at Hansa Rostock and had some exceptional emotions against MSV Duisburg on match day 11. Scoring 2 goals, and King Manu has gone to ground now. Yes, he did receive an elbow from Haugen in that duel. On looking at the replay, arms were flailing a little bit from the forward. Now it's King Manu who is going to be receiving treatment. The low knee from Fortuna Düsseldorf, born in Cologne. His intentions this season were to pick up playing time and return to Fortuna Düsseldorf with more experience. He's back on his feet, and hopefully, just like Tunay Deniz and Thor Jakobsen, all received injuries to the face in these opening 15 minutes or so, they'll be able to perform at their very best. Energie Cottbus, as a reminder, played at the midweek. Oh, a dangerous play from Erik Engelhardt, and did he make contact with Tunay Deniz? Just had to receive treatment for receiving the ball in his face, and moments later in his next play, it was a very close call, but Engelhardt did not make contact, it seems. A little too close for comfort. Offside on Rittman. Pass was accurate, but the timing a little bit off. Perhaps also a testament to the coordination of that back line of Energie Cottbus. It's the fullback Anderson Lukokui, his 9th appearance this season in Trita Liga, clears it. Togay CJRC's control gets away from him there. Emblematic number 10. Dulic. Jakobsen was surrounded by players in red, but a one-touch pass accelerates the play. Haugen muscles off T. Grant, but in a way that's deemed outside the rule book by Konrad Olhafer. Sigurd Haugen not afraid to go to contact. Can Cottbus enjoy a spell of possession here? Finding themselves on the right. Axel Borgman. Give and go with Rohrig. It's perfectly played into his stride. But in the end, difficult for the 25-year-old fullback to redirect across with quality. Just a goal kick for the home side. Technique from Simon Vogt there to escape the pressure of Eric Engelhardt. Dulic finds Vogt, who's in a pocket of space. He's going to accelerate a bit, look for solutions, doesn't have many, and accordingly Cottbus recover. A little bit of lack of mobility from his teammates there. Can Cottbus capitalize? They've won the ball back thanks to Boziari's CJRC, and that's the first effort on target of this match. It's Tolgay CJRC. Direction was there, power was absent. But a player with his level of confidence can be invited to shoot at any time at this moment. He's chosen in several Team of the Weeks by the German publication Kicker this season. Excellent dribbling, his accurate passing, his relentless finishing. Also a composed penalty taker. Brings so much. As the camera pans on to Marcus Kauzinski, recently appointed head coach of 1860 Munich, who replaced Patrick Lautner. Things didn't go to plan for 1860 Munich as they invested so much. Results were not there. Long throw-in for Littman. Right into the gloves of Marius Funk, who read the trajectory perfectly. The long throw, which we're seeing used in so many offensive situations in the 2025-2026 campaign, either through Hansa Rostock's Florian Carstens, Advice Essen's Tom Moustier. Spread out to Borgman, who's drifted to the left. CJRC, a clever tap of the ankle, able to turn and face the goal. The attack was thwarted and then carelessly sent away back to 1860 Munich. So in the opening 20 minutes, it hasn't been a very high tempo match. 1860 Munich accepting to defend quite deep in their own half and then try to attack with pace, but unfortunately, Energie for the home side, Energie Cottbus are prepared for that. And then when they try to produce some moments of their own, they're met with a compact 1860 Munich defense. Two sides that are not willing to open themselves up too much so far. And there was a question of fitness for Energie Cottbus, who played at the midweek, if they were able to hold on with the demands of playing 3 games in a week yet again. clearer answer later on in the second half, but they're taking their time to turn up the tempo. Strong challenge and clean one by Dominic Pelivan, clean as a whistle. CJRC caresses the ball into his forwards, but met by the header of Max Rheintaler. 1860 Munich trying to break with pace. Strong header again from Awerti Grant. It's a little bit choppy in the midfield battle. Dulic plays it back all the way to his goalkeeper Thomas Dana, who's off his line. Supporters really are the mainstay of the Grünwalder Stadion. 15,000, it's always that capacity. Denise goes for goal. Oh, it's palmed away, but a little bit difficultly by Marius Funk. And Tunay Denise taking matters into his own hands. Attempted to score from outside of the box with a driven shot. This time, the power was there, but the placement was a little bit too convenient for Marius Funk, who didn't have to move or shift his body to make the save. And then on the follow-through, didn't connect with the ball cleanly. But the most enterprising player of the first half for 1860 Munich, surely Tunay Denise, tried to grab the opener. By doing it all on his own. The last time these two sides met, well, the last season, these two sides met at the Grünwalder Stadion. It ended in 5-1 for 1860 Munich. Still oceans of time left to be played in this match, and we are able to see 6 goals being scored. I'll take it. For now, it's looking two sides who are very well prepared to face off against each other. Not willing to expose themselves. But Axel Borgman, can he find Eric Engelhardt? He's brought down, and the free kick is given. Konrad Olhafer reaching for his bookings, and he gives a yellow card to Sean Dulich. A bit of the curse of the commentator, as I said, teams weren't looking to expose themselves. Strong play in the midfield between Belivan and Borgman. The well-dosed pass into the stride of Eric Engelhardt, who got ahead of Dulich. And he chopped him down from behind. So it's 1 booking apiece. Michel Brink, who picked one up, picked his yellow card up earlier in the first half. Now Dulich. The former under-19 Bundesliga captain of 1860 Munich, who came up the academy, putting his side dangerous situation. He's looking over this free kick is CJRC. Also, it was taken by the right foot of Henry Rohrig. CJRC, one-touch effort. Oh, it's batted wide. Thomas Dana, who was sharp on his toes. The ball traveled through so much traffic. Saw it late, Thomas Dana, and parried it away. Eric Engelhardt was also lingering, so very well played by Thomas Dana. Corner's played short. CRC almost acting as if he wasn't expecting to receive the ball. Plays it back. It's commotion, but it's kept in play by Boziaris, who wins another corner kick. Careful there. There's been a couple of mistakes in concentration for the home side, which has allowed for Energie Cottbus to have glances of goal. Similar to carbon copy, it's Rohrig. And again, can't get the pass, the effort to go through traffic. But twice Henry Rohrig found at the edge of the box by Tolgay CJRC from a short corner. Indication that they were working that in practice in anticipation of this match. CJRC wraps his left foot around the ball, puts a spin and a curl on his passes, his shots, his crosses. It's lovely to watch. Boziaris on the wide right, gets away from Lippmann and bursts with pace to switch up play. It's good free-flowing movement from the visitors. And they get a corner from it. 1860 Munich on the back foot in these last few minutes. Conceded corner after corner after corner, but also unable to really build offensively. We haven't seen Kevin Volland, former Bundesliga stalwart, get involved. Boziaris to take it. It's into a dangerous area. It's cleared by Reinthaler. King Manu. Pelivan made his contact with it, and it's scuffed. But it was enough to prevent a clean save by Thomas Dana, who had to make a last-minute call, well, last-second call to. In the end, it wasn't touched by anyone, but on the bounce, Thomas Dana had to clear the ball. It's another corner kick. Incessant pressure from Energie Cottbus from these set pieces, but they haven't been effective. They haven't really got a clean attempt on target. This time it won't be played short, and it's CJRC with the in-swinger. It's driven. Well met at the first post by Denise. Haugen making a mess of the clearance. And it's another corner, unsurprisingly. Engelhardt was involved there. It's true that in the summertime, Klaus-Dieter Wollitz mentioned that there was a bit of an absence in height and heading ability. That's why they signed center back, well, one of the reasons why they signed center back Nyamike Aourit Grant from Stuttgart Kickers, the tallest player with King Manu on the pitch. Can they be found from these corners? It was Aourit Grant who was found, but another corner kick conceded by 1860 Munich. It felt never ending, the corner kicks. Energie Cottbus, the league leaders, at the cusp of the half-hour mark. Can they break the deadlock from this corner? And finally, a breath of fresh air for 1860 Munich. It's a goal kick. Puts an end to that wave after wave of corners conceded. They would be relishing to see the ball on the opposite end of the pitch. At least the home supporters would. Reinthaler casually carrying the ball forward, and with a pass he breaks to the line of midfield, and that's a shame there because Kevin Volland didn't have the precision of the pass, and it's carelessly given away again. Cottbus with short passes And a burst of pace from Henry Rohrig. He's met by Denise in the end. Held on to position too long. It's one of the risks of carrying the ball for so long. The longer you have the ball at your feet, the more chances you have to lose it, excuse me. Henry Rohrig, although it was bright, was dispossessed. Can Cottbus build something here on the left? They struggle. Instead of conceding the throw in, they turn over possession. King Manu was first to the challenge and wins the free kick. Kevin Volland must be regretting that pass that he misplaced. Went for that cutting final ball for his forwards. You'd expect for a player of his experience and quality to be sharper in those moments. Engelhardt plays it back to CJRC on his weaker right foot, and it flies above the net, but under the applause of Klaus-Dieter Wollitz, the manager who's in charge of Energie Cottbus for the third time in his career. Did so between 2009 and 2011, and 2016 and 2019. He's been in Saxony as head coach of Energie Cottbus since 2021. Helped win them promotion from the Regionalliga 2 seasons ago. Sal Borgman is on the ground. Similarly, King Manu receiving an elbow from an 1860 Munich player. This time it's Kevin Volland, the culprit. 33 years of age. It was surprising to some that Kevin Volland would go from the Bundesliga, where he played for Union Berlin in 2024-2025, to the Dritte Liga, back to his home club. Didn't do so alone, of course. Made the move alongside his friend from childhood, Florian Niederlechner. Hasn't been all rosy yet. 1860 Munich, though, are responding. They're on the left. Lippmann trying to get the best of Rohrig, but showcasing all his experience. Henry Rohrig wins the ball back confidently and assuredly. Simple pass to Funk, who is under a little bit of pressure. And 1860 Munich have awoken. After a spell where they were definitely on the back foot. Volland, that's complicated from the number 31. And with the intentions of retrieving the ball, commits a foul. Hasn't been the finest of first halves for Kevin Volland. Missed a couple of games recently due to a flesh wound sustained against Victoria Cologne earlier this season. Match day 9 had to come off, missed match day 10. Anderson Mukokui disagreeing with the referee's decision. Though he completely impeded Marvin Rittmuller. Pretty weak case there. Mukokui. Time to get back onto his feet, maybe indicating that an issue with his athletic tape or the ankle. So after 35 minutes of play, a match that was anticipated to be perhaps high scoring, given how TSV 1860 Munich need to get points to launch their campaign for promotional push. Energie Cottbus, who have been on a 5-match win streak, would like to extend it to 6, having scored 4 goals against Havelse in match day 12. So far hasn't lived up to those high scoring expectations or even chance creation expectations. Touch passing from 1860 Munich to inject pace into play, and they're able to scrape a free kick from it. Or to Grant. Caught late. Can it be the left foot of Thor Jakobsen? He does have quality from set pieces, as does his midfield partner Tunay Denise. Havelse did find success against Energie Cottbus, scoring from crosses from deep. 1860 Munich opened the scoring in this match. Kevin Volland chipped to the left. He's brought down Reinthaler, and it's a penalty. Max Reinthaler, who's come into the lineup for the first time as a starter, wins a penalty against Energie Cottbus off a set piece. And it's Eric Engelhardt who is on the defensive duties, the forward who's much more prolific in his attacking duties. And yes, he's completely late. Steps on the ankle of the defender, Max Reinthaler. He did brilliantly well to read the trajectory, and Kevin Volland, who had almost a forgettable opening 35 minutes, showcases why he's trusted with the keys to this midfield of 1860 Munich. And the home side will now have a clear chance to break the deadlock and give the supporters here at the Grünwalder Stadion reason to erupt. It's Thor Jakobsen who's involved in the free kick. Presenting himself, it's Marius Funk. Time seems to freeze during these moments for penalty takers who don't have the composure, but Thor Jakobsen, with his experience, puts the ball into the back of the net calmly and with composure, gets his second goal of the season, and puts 1860 Munich up against the league leaders Energie Cottbus. Are we going to be seeing a repeat of matchday 11 when 1860 Munich took down MSV Duisburg, who were league leaders at the time? This 1860 Munich side can be labeled as a giant killer if they're able to do so. It's a simple finish to the left of Marius Funk, to the right of Marius Funk, who dove to his left. And what was looking as to be an uneventful first half gets shaken up thanks to a penalty kick scored by 1860 Munich at home. So the Grünwalder Stadion are offered a moment of joy on this All Saints Day, while Kevin Volland, more of what we saw in the opening 35 minutes, loses possession again. But in a defining moment, Kevin Volland was inch perfect with his pass delivered to Max Reinthaler, who is stepping in as a defender, given that Rafael Schifferle is injured. Jesper Verlat is out with a long-term injury. His performance today has been remarkable, defensively and offensively. bullets. The outspoken manager never hesitates to get off his bench and express himself to his players. Surely we'll see at the halftime. Players at the halftime will see Stern talking to, at least we can say, Borgman. Can Energie Cottbus reverse the tide, get at least an equalizer for the halftime? Borgman on his left foot. Can he send the ball in? And it isn't a corner kick. It's well defended by 1860 Munich, who are solid and compact in these defensive areas. They weren't dazzling offensively. Thanks to set pieces and crucial movement and a well-worked play, they're able to nudge ahead and draw first blood. Rittmuller not wanting to play forward. Dulich under pressure, and Reinthaler passes it forward, but without much direction. Ball will bounce out comfortably for a goal kick. So for a season that has not gone as planned for 1860 Munich, we started with manager Patrick Laugner, who was dismissed after not delivering on the performances or the results. Now with new manager Marcus Kauzinski, the intentions are to play for promotion. If they are able to pick up 3 points against Energie Cottbus, the belief to ride to the top firmly nurtured. They've now conceded another corner kick via Simon Voet, Belgian centre-back who arrived in the summertime. The nth time, corner kick for Energie Cottbus. Boziaris. It's cleared also far to TJC off the half volley, but right into the gloves of Thomas Dana. Well positioned to deal with the shot from Togay CJRC. Took a few steps back, CJRC anticipating the punch. Very intelligent play from the number 10, but his volley unable to rattle the back of the net. Haugen on the defensive duties. Concedes the throw in. Without having their attacking players illustrate themselves too much, 1860 Munich, they are in the lead. We didn't see enough of Sigurd Haugen and David Philipp to truly get a clear picture of their offensive partnership, and they have chemistry, that front two, but at this stage of the season, points are what matter the most. 1860 Munich, and it means getting the victory without their attacking players shining. They'll take it. David Philipp there was dispossessed, and there's space now for Lucas Michelbrink. Henry Rohrig, we know he's got a good cross on him, and it's read by Simon Voet. Lightning fast break from Energie Cottbus. Great transition. 1860 Munich did well to recover and concede another corner kick. Very comfortable defending these corners so far, 1860 Munich. CJRC is in swinger, and Dana, who is hanging in the air, captures the ball and puts an end to this next wave of Energie Cottbus's kick. Vogt, as we see, is comfortable with the ball at his feet. 3 minutes of added time. And 1860 Munich grab a second. Doesn't seem like they're willing to expose themselves too much. In the second half, will we see 1860 Munich a little bit more ambitious offensively, or will they content themselves with this 1-0 lead? Littman outstretching. It would be a feat to hand Energie Cottbus their first defeat in 6 games. Grant. Throw in one by Henry Rohrig. Good defending from Clemens Littman, just 19 years of age. A Munich-born fullback who, starting already his 3rd consecutive match, has won the trust of Marcus Kaczynski. CJRC into the open space, doesn't meet a teammate. Marvin Rittmuller breaks out with pace. Long touch from Orti Grant, and it's given back to 1860 Munich, who take their time to take this throw in. No rush for play to really resume and expose themselves to conceding an equalizer in added time. Instead, I believe it seems it's quite obvious that 1860 Munich will want to go in with the lead from a psychological standpoint. The importance of that as well, how it weighs on the coach's team talks. And they want another throw in. That may just do it. It's the Grünwalder Stadion, which hasn't been treated to a spectacle in terms of free-flowing play. It's been a match marred by some stoppages, lots of corner kicks for Energie Cottbus especially. But thanks to a free kick, one, and then penalty, won by Max Reintaler. It's the home side. We're provisionally ahead. And they now want a goal kick, a corner kick. Can Tunai Deniz find one of his teammates to double the lead? It's Max Reintaler, he's in motion. He was in search for Jakobsen. He doubles the lead! Unbelievable! Capitalizing on a lack of concentration for Energie Cottbus. The Grünwalder Stadion can erupt yet again. Thor Jakobsen must be loving his football at the Grünwalder Stadion. 3 goals in 2 matches here. And he laced his foot through the ball. Inside of the box, completely unmarked. Energie Cottbus vulnerable on set pieces. And it's CJRC who's away from him. King Manu tried to make up the distance, but it was already too late. Jakobsen had decided what he was going to do. Volley the ball into the back of the net. And Marius Funk, who tried all his best, with all his will, to get a glove to the ball, could not prevent Thor Jakobsen from getting his brace. Captain Fantastic strikes again, and Konrad Olhafer blows his whistle at the end of the opening half. Thanks to set pieces, 1860 Munich are up 2-0 against the league leaders Energie Cottbus. In what was a choppy match, wasn't rich in opportunities created, but there are 2 goals. And now Klaus-Dieter Wollitz, the manager of Energie Cottbus, has to corral his team to try and mount a comeback against a very compact, very solid, and very determined 1860 Munich side. We'll be back after the halftime. Stay with us. Well, that was not to be expected exactly. The Grunwalder Stadion, which has been packed all season with 15,000 supporters, wasn't exactly a fortress this season. But last time the 1860 Munich Lions came out here, they defeated MSV Duisburg 3-1, and now against league leaders Energie Cottbus, they are up 2-0. Thor Jakobsen, the goal scorer of both, picked up a brace, once through a penalty, once through a corner kick. And Energie Cottbus, who scored 17 goals of their 30 in the last 5 games, were kept scoreless. Surprising, they had so many corner kicks. Tolgai CJRC, who was on 9 goals, Eric Engelhardt on 8, were muted, prevented from expressing themselves to their best. Was it an issue with Klaus-Dieter Wollitz? Is it an issue of fitness? Was it Markus Kauzinski, the manager of 1860 Munich, who prepared his team perfectly to face an opponent like Energie Cottbus? It could be a little bit of it all. But in the end, the outcome was that 1860 Munich, without exactly shining, were able to score 2 goals at the end of the first half and really give themselves 1 foot near to picking up 3 points against a strong opponent. Substitution to be made. It's Merveille Blancadi to come on for Lucas Michelbrink, who had picked up a free kick. And we are back. Energie Cottbus starting off in possession, attacking from right to left. There was a change of sides, as there always is in football, for this matchday 13 encounter of Dritte Liga football. Well, 1860 Munich produced more of the same, which is a compact defensive structure, and then try to break out in spurts with set pieces. That's yet to be seen. If there's one side that has to change their game plan, it's Energie Cottbus. And Klaus-Dieter Wollitz couldn't have been happy with what he saw in the opening half. Especially when you look into his quotes before the game. He said in the press, he spoke to the press saying that he believed his side, he expected to see his side show the utmost hunger to win against 1860 Munich. He believed that it would be a real statement to win against a team with their prestige. We didn't exactly see much hunger or much enterprise. Pelivan launched it towards Blancadi. Working the ball to the left. Boziaris, the number 19. We scored a brace against Havelse on matchday 12, but alongside his teammates in the attack, Eric Engelhardt and CJRC, was muzzled. Searching ball, and Borgman was running into the space. But the dose of the pass from CJRC, a little bit too heavy. But already in the attitude, Energie Cottbus producing a little bit more enterprise. Oh, it's won back by Boziaris. They're gonna have to sloppy ball control from Yanis Boziaris. The Astoria Waldorf youth product, who has Greek origins as well, alongside German. Scored 11 goals last season in the Regionalliga Süd. That's where he caught the eye of Klaus-Dieter Wollitz. He was signed in the summertime. He's won the trust of his coach. Kevin Volland, perfectly placed pass to Sigurd Haugen, and they've won a corner kick. And for those of you just joining us now, 1860 Munich scored their second from a corner kick. It wasn't the first player who was found, it was the second, Thor Jakobsen. Volleyed an effort from close range into the back of the net. thwarting Marius Funk's goal line. Can 1860 Munich find solace from a corner kick? Again, Littmann. Rittmuller, the offensive fullback, misses everyone, and there's a penalty kick! No, never mind, excuse me. My mistake in the interpretation of the referee, Konrad Olhafer's signals. He didn't point to the spot, he pointed for a goal kick. As you can notice, the Grunwalder Stadion is packed to the brim. 15,000 supporters, yet again, at this old school, iconic stadium. One which saw joy and witnessed a big win against MSV Duisburg on the scoreline of 3-1 just 2 weeks ago. And they're on the brink of accomplishing something great again. Now 1860 Munich attacking in front of the traveling supporters of Energie Cottbus. You see on your right, screen, Rittmuller wins it back. Denise skies his effort. That's a shame. He had worked the ball so well on that right wing. Hard work put in place by Rittmuller. It seems like the pass was delivered into an interesting area. There are 2 balls on the pitch, so Awarty Grant deals with it. It's still on the line, actually. Luko Quiz clears. And 1860 Munich respond well after perhaps struggling in the opening minute or 2 of this half. Marius Funk clears it, 1 touch. Dulic, astute pass to Rittmuller. Oh, the pace has completely accelerated compared to what we saw in the first 45 minutes. Just in these last 5 minutes, you could feel the tension growing between these 2 sides. There's more spaces to be taken. Borgman, a little late with his pass. Seems like Engelhardt and Boziaris had moments where they could have been found easier. Borgman perhaps caught between 2 minds there. David Philipp struggling to get back up to his feet, and the ball will be put out of play for him to recover. David Philipp, the former Victoria Cologne player. Played under 19 German international side alongside Bundesliga player Josip Stanisic. Sigurd Haugen, forward who we didn't see showcase his offensive abilities in the opening half. Instead was really going to duel with the center backs King Manu and Nemeke Awarty Grant. Rheinthaler, Jakobsen, dispatch to the right. They're finding spaces. 1860 Munich on this right hand side. Link up play between David Philipp and Rittmuller doesn't connect quite well enough there. This is a bright spot for 1860 Munich supporters. Must be enjoying what they're seeing, especially after that 3-1 defeat last week against Waldorf Mannheim. It's an ideal way to bounce back. And Biancardi, the substitute, born in Munich, here to perhaps haunt his hometown city. Merveille Biancardi, former Arminia Bielefeld winger. won a corner kick, which is going to be taken by Togay Sijersi. Thwarted by Sigurd Haugen. And then booted away under the applause of the Grunwalder faithful. Rorik comfortable enough to plaster the ball back all the way to his goalkeeper Marius Funk. CJC dropping back so deep to orchestrate the midfield play for his team. Collision there between Lukoki and Volland. No whistle called. Engelhardt gets on his left foot. The Panzer now on his right. It's blocked by Rheintaler. It's a much more entertaining second half, and you could feel the atmosphere has shifted. Energie Cottbus playing with a little bit more sense of urgency, or a lot more sense of urgency, trying to work the ball into the box more directly. Bioncadi, hard to deal with so far since his introduction. He brings width, he brings speed, he brings unpredictability, which was lacking for Die Roten. And he's won a free kick for his side. 55th minute of play, Energie Cottbus. It's a yellow card for Simon Vogt, of course. All three players of that back three for 1860 Munich are in the booking. Have received caution. Will it be Henry Rorik's right foot? It's CJC. He posts it well. Bioncadi had an eye for goal, but closed down fast enough by Sigurd Haugen. Boziari switches up. The dance of CJC intercepted by Tunay Deniz. Both players German-Turkish nationalities and origins at the duel, which was won this time by Tunay Deniz. Very high foot from Simon Vogt as he cut down Bioncadi. It's cleared by Dana. Good, clever step over from Bioncadi, and Pelivan. Rare instance where he doesn't manage to control the ball perfectly. Defensive midfielder wearing the number 5 for Cottbus. It's an example of consistency, but he hasn't been influential today. 1860 Munich on the front foot. And he had to be perfect there, Marius Funk, because around was Sigurd Haugen. Because if there were any crumbs left to be collected, Haugen was sniffing to add to his goal-scoring tally this season. But Funk extended his arms, and the ball stuck to his gloves like glue. Engelhardt chesting it down, but didn't expect to be met by the tall frame of Max Rheintaler. CJC, give and go. He's surrounded by 1860 Munich players. The Bavarians, can they mount an attack of their own now? Littmann, he's going to go on the foot race against Rorik. Doesn't get the best. No penalty. And Rorik, although Energie Cottbus are down 2 goals to 0, 2 goals to 0, has been excellent in his duels with Clemens Littmann. Tunay Deniz is on the ground after a challenge with Bioncadi, and that'll put a stop to play. It's been electric in this second half. Strong challenges. It was late, but it was great. Henry Rorik stopped Littmann from sending in a final ball. And Deniz grabbing onto his shin. That'll be the second time he requests medical assistance. He's been battered up quite a bit, Tunay Deniz. In the first half, it was the ball to the face, which he received in the opening minutes. Now it's to the lower portion of his body. And this will also give an opportunity for players to... Oh, that's a bad sign from the medical team. Tunay Deniz, who was so influential for 1860 Munich. The medical specialist declaring that he is no longer fit to be playing. That is a key moment in this match. And he was absent after serving a yellow card suspension. Made his way back into the starting 11. Oh yes, Kevin Volland also was involved in a tussle there. He's claiming that he had reasons to be signaled for a penalty. Yanis Boziaris. That'll be the end of his afternoon. The forward who scored 2 goals against Havelse. Unable to find the back of the net. He makes way for Timmy Thiele. It's a dual substitution. It's also Justin Butler who's going to come on. So Boziaris, Thiele, and Butler for Luko Kui. So a defender coming off and an attacker coming off for 2 clear forwards. We'll see what Klaus-Dieter Wollitz is able to cook up. And it's Max Christensen who will enter the fray. Unfortunately for 1860 Munich supporters, this is bad news. Tunay Deniz, who from set pieces, in open play, defensive and offensive sequences, was so precious in this match. You could really feel the impact he brought. He comes off to the ovation of the supporters, of course, but they'll have to deal without him for 30 minutes. Coming in is Max Christensen, who scored a beautiful goal against Waldorf Mannheim, but also showcased that when he isn't focused and concentrated, can allow for spaces for the opponent. So he has a lot to prove, Max Christensen. And after a stoppage due to the injury, Tunay Deniz plays able to resume. Christensen, his first involvement isn't the best. Justin Butler, the other substitute who came on, runs into traffic and concedes a throw-in very deep in enemy territory. Justin Butler, who received high praise from Klaus-Dieter Wollitz during this season. He described him as a Bundesliga-level player, although he has spent most of his career in the Dritte Liga. So it's his 106th appearance, just 24 years of age. But interestingly enough, Klaus-Dieter Wollitz also said that he has a peak speed of 36 kilometers an hour. Unlikely 1860 Munich, with their defensive setup, will allow for Justin Butler to reach that top speed, but if he's able to, why not? So Tunay Deniz able to walk off, which is encouraging. CJC shifts the play to the left. Borgman dispatches Butler. Thiele gets a touch to it. Engelhardt unable to be found. can hear the 1860 Munich supporters pushing and pushing for their team to hold on to this lead. If they can even collect a clean sheet, that would be welcome. 1860 Munich, who are 1 goal away from being 0 on goal differential, and with this win would lift themselves even further from the bottom spots. Of course, that's far from the goal for this club, which is to battle for promotion, and taking points away from a promotion rival. Well, early to say that 1860 Munich are playing for promotion, but Energie Cottbus are, as we speak, a contender for promotion. They're able to take points away from them. That would even make this result even sweeter. But it's far from over. 65th minute of play. A lot left to do. More defending. And why not scoring more goals? Last season at the Grunwalder Stadion, it was back in April, 1860 Munich ran riot. It was Abiyama who opened the scoring. Tunai Denise scored from a free kick. Patrick Hopsch, who's on the bench, picked up a brace. CJRC took his time to pick his pass to Fertile, but in the end, he found the window. Christensen. Jakobsen, that's a key pass he has to make. 1860 Munich struggling to create, largely due to this high press by Energie Cottbus, but Dulic did showcase his intelligence, waited for Eric Engelhardt to commit to a challenge, wins a free kick, which shaves time off the clock, but also allows for the block of Energie Cottbus to retreat. Very intelligent play from the 20-year-old defender, Sean Dulic. Good layoff. Oh, it's a shame. They were trying to go for the most direct style of play possible. Philipp and Haugen. A give and go straight into the box from a goal kick, from a long clearance. Almost an English style of play, as they would say. Borgman demanding to receive the ball from his center back. Timmy Thiele, a substitute who was one of the top goal scorers for Cottbus last season, although was missed out on about 2 months of competition, bronchitis. He also came off against CSVA Velce with injury, so it's good to see him grace the pitch. He's full of talent, yet to score this season, but Pelivan imprecise with that chested pass, and 1860 Munich, can they break out? They escape the first curtain of pressing. They do well. Jakobsen, short on solutions, and CJRC is going to try to chase. It's sloppy, but it works. 1860 Munich now, they have players facing the goal. Decisive and intervention from the long legs of King Manu. Butler, can he get on his pace and showcase his peak speed? Dulic yet again, confirming that he is focused, that he's determined to help his side pick up these points. 3 to be exact. The story is all the more compelling given that there are key injuries in the defense for 1860 Munich. Schäferl is out till the new year. Jesper Verlat and Moritz Strotter as well. 3 players that could easily contest for starting 11 positions. CJRC's outswinging corner kick. They've been poor in their corner kick deliveries. Energie Cottbus, for the so many they've won, unable to find the chink in the armor from that set piece situation. All the more frustrating is that they've conceded 2 goals from set pieces. Christensen. Rietmuller with the clearance that anywhere but here kind of fashion. And the clock is still ticking towards the end of this second half. There's 20 minutes left to go. Could Klaus-Dieter Wollitz introduce more players to perhaps destabilize 1860 Munich's defensive structure? Seems like they're equipped to deal with Justin Butler and Timmy Thiele. Hervé Biancardi, when he came on, was causing a little bit of havoc on that right wing. Referee Konrad Allhaffer designating the proper spot from which Marvin Rittmuller should take his throw in. He obligedly listens. Haugen back to goal. He's going to look to win a goal kick or corner kick. Volland, oh, he shifted his body in such a way that the shot was disguised in the end. Closed his foot at the final moment. So many people would have imagined for Kevin Volland to aim for that far second post, but he does have that creative spark, that unpredictable nature about him where in the end he opted for that near post. If it was on target, you could have imagined Marius Funk would have struggled to deal with that effort. Unfortunately for Energie Cottbus, it wasn't. Haugen, interesting, playing like a Brazilian. One-touch passing. Oh, this is wonderful from 1860 Munich to drive into the box. It's Route 1 football, it's direct, and Markus Kauzinski's style is starting to appear. Markus Kauzinski, the manager who took over from Patrick Lautner from matchday 11, started his tenure with that 3-1 victory. It was overshadowed a little bit by that defeat last week, but did say after that defeat that we talked about things, we looked at what went well, what went badly. CJRC picking the ball up from deep, driving in, looking to win a free kick. It's not given. Pelivan intercepting in the way that we know he can. So good, the midfielder, in winning the balls back for his side. Almost indispensable when he's on his top form. Butler unable to be found in space, and the supporters of 1860 Munich are bringing the noise. Oh, there's some frustration here. Justin Butler with the supporters. Objects being thrown onto the pitch. And the speaker will have to address the behavior, as well as receiving stern talking to by Marvin Rittmuller, or even gestures. Now Energie Cottbus players are getting involved too. Football isn't about that. The supporters who are in attendance in the stadium have a responsibility to be respectful for the players who are giving it their all, to offer a spectacle, not to interact negatively or even interrupt play by throwing cups or any kind of objects. Stadium officials are now on the call to make sure that there's some supervision to prevent any more negative behavior. And Justin Butler is gesturing that he does not want to resume play. And there's now discussions between the officials. For Niederlechner, the 1860 Munich forward, who is perhaps getting ready to come off the bench, in discussion with staff and players. So a match that was, there was building in tension, there was an atmosphere that was getting a little bit more electric. 1860 Munich were starting to manage the waves of offense provided by Energie Cottbus, and supporters have come to tarnish the spectacle. And Energie Cottbus are refusing to resume play. See what referee Konrad Oldhafer has to say. He's in discussion with both captains. So now both captains in heated discussion alongside Konrad Oldhafer. Seems like Axel Borgman is sharing his piece. Appears that he's quite heated emotionally. And play has not resumed. Justin Butler, who was at the initiation, showcases anger for not getting on the end of that pass. And there were supporters in the stands who perhaps shared some unsavory words. You don't want to expect the worst, but Justin Butler, a victim of some discriminatory comments from some supporters who quite clearly did not contain themselves and did not behave appropriately at the Grünwalder Stadion. And then he was the target of objects being thrown onto the pitch. Once the altercation started to heat more and more. These are unfortunate scenes that you do not wish to see on the football pitch. And as the clock keeps ticking, of course there will be consequences for the fan who behaves as such. Consequences perhaps for 1860 Munich. Whether play will resume or not is yet to be seen, but as of now, 1860 Munich are still leading 2-0 against Energie Cottbus. A ball went out of bounds for those of you joining us at this very moment, and Justin Butler was involved in an altercation with a disrespectful and inappropriately behaved fan of 1860. Well, dare I even call him a fan? Spectator who did not come to respect the players. And after communions and after strong heated discussions, the altercation did boil up a little bit more. But play will thankfully resume for the rest of the supporters who behaved respectfully and were making for this match to be a spectacle. Butler getting emotional. There isn't clear information, but whatever he did hear from this fan, from the spectator, clearly impacting him in a negative way. Just as a reminder, football is no space for discrimination, no space for racial behavior, for racism. There's no space for any sort of negative behavior as such. It's important to support your own side. And also remember that these players are beyond athletes, they are human beings. So a double substitution also, and let's resume. Let's get back to football. Play will be resumed. Of course, the time lost due to that stoppage will come back, will be added on in stoppage time. So Maximilian Wolfram and Florian Niederlechner are on. Niederlechner. Looking for the give and go. So taken off was Kevin Holland and David Philipp. So an offensive switch up for Marcus Kauzinski, who's now made 3 substitutions. One was forced, did not intentionally take off Dunay Denise, but unable to continue due to injury. Well, Florian Niederlechner and Maximilian Wolfram bring on fresh blood, fresh legs, perhaps to... Oh, could that fall into the back of the net? Almost did. Completely rooted at his feet was Marius Funk. Did not anticipate the trajectory from that long throw-in. Would have been off the back of Dominic Pelivan, it looks like. So corner kick given. Would have been an own goal. And after a long stoppage, it's impressive to see both sides injecting intensity back into this match, picking up a little bit how we left off. Jakobsen's in-swinger meets 2 towering Cottbus defenders, and here's Justin Butler. Tries to go through closing door. Niederlechner wins it back. Chipped effort. Oh, almost beat the goalkeeper there, and he's won a corner kick. Florian Niederlechner has nearly 400 pro appearances. Player with such experience as well, similar to Kevin Volland, came from the Bundesliga. Niederlechner scored 45 goals at the top flight. This season it's been challenging for Niederlechner, to say the least, but he always plays with heart when he wears the 1860 Munich kit. He was brought on alongside Maximilian Wolfram just moments ago. Here's Wolfram, Jakobsen. Will he find Wolfram again? Wolfram, we know, has quality from his feet. Shoots for goal. Lippmann, this time on the right side. Niederlechner working his defender. Niederlechner gets the best of Biancadi, and it's a third! Niederlechner's impact is immense. What a moment for the number 7, decisive. And on the receiving end of his cross, was it Marvin Rittmuller? Believe it was. Clemens Lippmann combining well. Biancadi, a little bit weak on the challenge, and it's an own goal. It's King Manu who deflects the ball into his own net. So unfortunate for the defender. And 1860 Munich go up 3-0 against the league leaders. Wonderful work from Niederlechner, muscling off Merveille Biancadi, who is in an unfamiliar position. And then it's King Manu. When you're defending, running towards your goal, you're always going to be in a bit of an uncomfortable position. And this time, seems like he didn't really know much about where the ball was coming from. I believe it was off his shoulder. But all the credit has to go to Florian Niederlechner. Great work from the experienced forward. Bringing a touch of class, a touch of hunger, lots of heart. And Marcus Kauzinski, his side are now up 3-0 at the 83rd minute. And we can expect to see quite a bit of stoppage time added after the 90th. And that may have sealed the victory. 1860 Munich now 0 on goal differential. They've scored 21 goals this season, have conceded 21. Energie Cottbus no longer league leaders as things stand. They've lost out as MSV Duisburg now top of the table. They're drawing currently. And the fixture being played at the same time away against Osnabrück. As for 1860 Munich, they climb to 12th place. Equal on points with Hoffenheim too. And 5 points away from the relegation. Haugen does well to win his duel. Axel Borgman back to goal, shifting to try to find a pocket of space where he's able to play forward, but it's closed down before he can do so by Rittmuller. Henry Rohrig, the agile, the precise fullback who hasn't been able to showcase his final ball abilities to its finest. CJRC, clever one-touch pass. It's fancy play, but can it produce something? Rohrig, his shot safely captured by Thomas Dahne, the reassuring gloves of the German goalkeeper. Munich break the high press. Perhaps one of the issues of Energie Cottbus is that the coordinated high press was broken a few too many times in this second half. Although it does make life a little bit uncomfortable for that back three, they were able to find some relief in passing the ball to Max Christensen and Thor Jakobsen, or even the fullbacks Lippmann and Rittmuller. So they're comfortable attracting the 3-4 Cottbus players into deep positions. And then once they're able to find a free player like Rittmuller there on the right, was in a pocket of space, they're able to turn towards goal and win time with possession, win space, and also psychologically dent the confidence of Energie Cottbus, who weren't successful in winning the ball back high up the pitch. It's been a little bit of the story of this game. We haven't seen a lot of the midfielders getting involved in the offensive play. CJRC has also been limited, creatively speaking. CJRC, who, there he is now, a player who managed to play 17 minutes in the Bundesliga before his career took an unexpected turn. Dealt with periods of unemployment, even played in the 4th division, had a stint in Turkey, but now at 30 years old, he's really found new momentum to his career. Corner kick, the header by Timmy Thiele sailed above. Taking his time with the goal kick, Thomas Dahne, and Timmy Thiele isn't too happy about it. The clock is approaching the 90th minute. Eyes will turn to the 4th official, who will signal how much time will be added on. My best guess is that it will be above 6 minutes. That's just me. Rittmuller, the player who arrived in the summer to fill in for, well, more, at least for the now, for Morris Schroeter. Yankadi Does well to escape 2-3 players, but Rittmuller, like a dog on the hunt, did not give up. And now he goes to ground. He's put in so many sprints and high-pace accelerations this match. He's been involved in every facet of play, especially in the second half, where 1860 Munich have built and decided to target that left wing of Cottbus, their right wing. Awarti Grant chests it down. King Manu alone in the center circle. Two towering defenders who have been thwarted 3 times. Niederlechner says, no, you will not pass to CJRC. And that's a bit about the story of how this match has gone for Energie Cottbus. Trying attempts, but it just seems a little bit forced, a little uncoordinated, if I may be so critical, which is surprising from the team that were going into this match as league leaders. Maybe they just ran out of gas. Could have been that deflating defeat against RB Leipzig in the DFB Pokal, which put an end to their dreams of going further in that competition. There was also quite a bit of money to be made if they were to win and get past RB Leipzig. So it's 10 minutes of added time, well beyond the 6 that I had suggested, and there's nobody to complain about that. We also saw on the bench a quick glance of perhaps Patrick Hobsch, German center forward, getting ready to come on for 1860 Munich, last season's top goal scorer for the Lions. So the Bavarian club have 10 more minutes to hold on to this 3-0 lead. Energie Cottbus not exactly giving too many reasons as to so far as to believe that they can mount a comeback, but 10 minutes is a lot of time. Can they create something? Where could the spark come from? That's the question that we haven't had an answer to throughout these 90 minutes. When you're down 3-0, with 10 minutes left to go, you can expect chances to be created and momentum to start to build, but Energie Cottbus struggling to find holes or even expose 1860 Munich's weaknesses. Justin Butler gets the lucky bounce and he has to deliver a quality cross. That's what was missing in the final ball there. Justin Butler showcasing his pace there, finally. Borgman, short of solutions. There isn't much motion. Timmy Thiele, Engelhardt patiently waiting for a ball to be delivered towards them. And it's a little bit too casual from the visitors. Rittmuller calling for medical help as the ball goes out. There'll also be substitutions, I believe. Can Yahya Mustafa to come on. So Tolgay CJRC, that's all we'll see from him. Unfortunately, unable to add to his goal scoring tally, one of the top goal scorers of the Dritte Liga. So he makes way. There goes Simon Stoll. Sigurd Haugen coming off for Patrick Hobsch as well on the other end. So all 3 forwards who started the match, Philipp, Haugen, Volland, are off. And 1860 Munich will finish with Hobsch, Niederlechner, and Wolfram. Number 27 is also introduced for 1860 Munich. It's Manuel Pfeiffer. For Marvin Rittmuller. Pfeiffer, who's a left-footed player, but so he'll fill in. He'll switch with Clemens Littmann. And there's Chanyaya Musfa. Simon Schouder, the 44, wearing right back. Simon Straudy, excuse me. Making his first ever appearance in the Trita Liga. The Italian fullback was on the bench for the last 5 matches, but never appeared. He'll get his first minutes in German 3rd Division football. So match day 13 has turned out to be quite a blessing for 1860 Munich supporters. They're heading into winning back-to-back matches at the Grunwalder Stadion. Of course, there was that defeat against Waldorf Mannheim last week. But life isn't so bad for Markus Kauzinski's 1860 Munich Lions. 2 victories out of 3 against 2 sides that were at the top of the table. And the Grunwalder Stadion, which wasn't exactly built as a fortress going into this game, it's through performances like these, it's through results like these, that they'll start to strike fear in their opponents before they arrive. Oh, it's well worked by Wolfram into the path of Littmann. The overlapping run of Wolfram, he hasn't found. Littmann instead tried to send in the final ball himself. Christensen in assistance. Well, he goes down, Thor Jakobsen. What a showing from Clemens Littmann. Dangerous on the wings. Perhaps lost out on his duels with Henry Rohrig on the opposite end of the pitch, but was impactful and played an important role in getting that 3rd goal scored. That own goal by Manu King, or King Manu. Five minutes left to go, and you don't sense the urgency in how Energie Cottbus are approaching play. Maybe Chanyaya Musfa can ignite something. The substitute, Engelhardt, skips away from Voet, contents himself with winning a corner kick for his side, but for those who have watched the entirety of this match, Energie Cottbus have won an amount of corner kicks and were not threatening at all. A mix of poorly taken set pieces and good defending from these situations. This time it was much better taken, and it could have resulted in the first goal for Energie Cottbus. Against the grain a little bit, Energie Cottbus finally mustering a well-worked corner kick, forced to save from Thomas Dana. Good pressing from Simon Straudy, the Italian fullback who signed on from Austrian side Klagenfurt. Wolfram chests it down with such confidence and composure. Maximilian Wolfram is a player that has found himself out of the starting 11 recently, but is at ease with the ball at his feet, or even, as we saw, anywhere around him, chest, head, shoulder, whatever you like. Can hit a very beautiful free kick as well. We've seen that from him in the Trita Liga. Jakobsen finding the aforementioned Wolfram. Simple passing from 1860 Munich, but that's how they're going to close out this match. More confidence. Of course, this game will, one of the talking points will surely be the incident involving Justin Butler and the spectator who shared a very unfortunate moment. Words that were obviously very impactful and negative, which threw off this match. Energie Cottbus never really seemed to wake up in the second half. that moment as well was also why there's so much stoppage time. Camera angle of both Markus Kauzinski, the manager of 1860 Munich, was the foreground, and Klaus-Dieter Wollitz, manager of Energie Cottbus, in the background. Two very different reactions, very different emotions, and they'll surely have very different talks with their players at the end of this game. It's way too casual from Biancadi. We saw much better from him in the opening instances of the second half. His impact has completely waned. And now listen to the 1860 Munich supporters cheer on their fans as the 3 points are beyond doubt. The Grünwalder Stadion is a special atmosphere, tainted by some very misbehaved, or two misbehaved individuals. But nonetheless, the Grünwalder Stadion, with the way it's built, the way it's set up, with the supporters who fill it up week after week whenever they play here at this venue, it's packed to capacity. And even on a day such as All Saints Day, they get the 3 points. 1860 Munich against Energie Cottbus. 11 points separated the two sides going into this game, but it was 1860 Munich who looked like the stronger side from the moment they scored the first goal. The first half, of course, it was Thor Jakobsen, the star, captain fantastic, scoring from the penalty spot, and also then from a corner kick right before the whistle to end the first half. In the second, it was a little bit more contested. The energy was electric, tensions were flaring, and it was the substitutions that made the difference. Florian Niederlechner cemented the victory by provoking an own goal scored by King Manu. At the end of match day 13, TSV 1860 Munich climbed to 12th place, have 0 goal differential, and bring down another league leader as they did against MSV Duisburg. They'll be playing away from home, however, against Jan Regensburg on Sunday, November 9th. Energie Cottbus, of course, there'll be stories about that moment with Justin Butler and the supporter in question that tainted the affair, but if not, they did not perform to their best, and they will have to recover on match day 14 if they are to be true promotion contenders. Thank you for watching with us, the Dritte Liga match day 13 encounter, and we will see you soon.